Hello everyone, my name is Ronette Kalaswa. My speech title is School Uniforms and the specific purpose to persuade kindergarten through grade 12 schools to have school uniforms as a requirement. As a show of hands, how many of you when you were younger attended a school that required school uniforms? Or how many of you have seen school children all wearing uniforms? I can tell you this. Like many of you, when I was growing up, I attended different schools and they all required us to wear uniforms. I too have also seen school children wear uniforms, including my own children. According to the Perceptions of School Uniforms in Relation to Socio-Economic Status website across the nation, school uniform policies are becoming increasingly popular. Between the years 2000 and 2014, the number of schools that had a school uniform policy increased from 12% to 20%. This is a huge jump, and in these statistics, we can see that uniforms are becoming popular and on demand. Today, I'll talk to you about why K through 12 schools should consider having school uniforms as a requirement. I'll talk about why school uniforms should be required. They are cheaper, decreases bullying in schools, and improves focus. School uniforms have become a better option for many people, especially less fortunate families. The cost savings. Many families struggle to buy school clothes for their children. Yearly, having school uniforms for all families will be cheaper and save these families a lot of money. As quoted in the Big Savings for Parents under New School Uniform Rules, article, parents currently spend large sums each year on branded clothes. From crested jackets and jumpers to PE gear, the Irish Daily Mail has led the way in highlighting this issue in recent years. An investigation by this newspaper in 2015 found that the average median school jumper costs 46 euros, while in some cases its piece can be as high as 55 euros. One example I could give was when I was growing up. My parents used to spend a lot of money just to buy my siblings and I clothes. Our lives became easier when in our boarding schools we were required to start wearing uniforms. Why school uniforms are important and cheaper? According to the Big Savings for Parents under New School Uniform Rules article, hard-dressed, pressed parents will soon be able to save €300 per child on uniforms after schools are ordered next week to allow pupils to wear uniforms. Who is affected? The people who are most affected are parents and families. Schools have to do everything possible to keep costs down for parents, including the use of generic items, sewn on or iron on crests, and making sure that various elements of the uniform can be purchased in multiple stores. The effects of problem. Parents will continue to spend a fortune on school generic clothes if school systems do not switch to school uniforms. While parents should consider having school uniforms, another reason is how school uniforms decrease bullying in schools. Decrease bullying in schools. Several children around the nation are victims of bullying. One of the reasons being that they dress different from other peers. Having school uniforms will decrease bullying because all the children will be dressed the same. As stated in the Perception of School Uniforms in Relation to Socio-Economic Statuses article, middle grade students need to feel a sense of belonging in school in order to have less anxiety and increased resilience and academic agreement. An example from my life was when my cousin's daughter was in 7th grade. She did not like to go to school in her siblings' hand-me-downs. She was afraid that she wouldn't fit in with the crowd because her clothes were more different than the others. Why uniforms help decrease bullying? In the article Perceptions of School Uniforms in Relation to Socio-Economic Status, they said an examination of individual survey items reviewed older students were more likely to report that school uniforms help reduce bullying and teasing, and some students of high socio-economic status reported that uniforms help reduce arguments with parents about clothing. Who is affected? The people who are most affected are the children in the schools and their families. Effects of problem. If schools do not switch to school uniforms, then bullying will continue to rise. More children will continue to feel left out. As stated in the school uniforms, wear or not to wear article. In addition, bullying is less prevalent in schools where children wear uniforms. Having school uniforms will help decrease bullying. Now, let's look at the last reason why uniforms help children focus in schools. Children in schools tend to focus more on what they are wearing or what their peers are wearing. Having school uniforms will help children focus on their studies, teach them to dress for success, and help them look representable. In the first article, Schools Uniforms, Academic Achievement, they stated, thus, Brasma and Rockmore found that uniformed students have significantly higher test scores than do non-uniformed students. In the article, do clothes make the student? They said, the article discusses whether a school dress code can really help improve student discipline. Schools which have followed the policy say that it helped bring a sense of unity and discipline in students. For example, in the article, kids must learn to dress codes. They say it is crucially important that the school children understand the necessity of appropriate dress throughout their life, and that is why at most schools the uniform is now mandatory. Why uniforms help improve focus? In the article, kids must learn dress codes. They stated, dressing in a way that respects those who interact with is an important life skill, and the head teacher is right to want support from the parents in teaching this. Who is affected? The people who are affected most are the children because they do not learn to dress representable. Who will teach them? If schools do not incorporate school uniforms, then children will not learn to be clean and professional. In the next text, they said, today's generation of school children will be looking for jobs in a competitive and unforgiving global race. There are so many benefits of having school uniforms. Schools and parents should consider this idea. I hope I was able to fix your mindsets on this topic. In conclusion, today we've discussed the 3 reasons why schools should require having school uniforms for grades kindergarten through grade 12. First, they are cheaper. Second, they help decrease bullying in schools. And last, they help improve focus. I think we should all consider incorporating school uniforms for our children. It could be of use for children, grandchildren, adoptees, fosters, etc., etc. Just remember, when the school year comes around again, do not just rush for regular school clothes. Step in the uniform department and think, is this could really change my child's life and the others? Thank you.